Ratio questions normally come up when it's anything to do with, I don't know, sharing cards. So if I deal out cards and I give 2 cards to John and 1 card to Peter, and I keep dealing it in that manner until all my cards run out. Ratios also come up more often than not when you're dealing with recipes. So a typical example will be this. If I say cake mix, and if I have 10 grams of flour and 20 grams of sugar, etc, etc, and it goes on and on and on, and let's say I'll have 30 grams of chocolate, and we'll leave the ingredients list at that for now. We could go on, and let's say the cake mix serves, I don't know, this will serve 3 people for the sake of this question. And you would be asked in the exam, well, how much flour do I need for, let's say, 15 people? This is a classic ratio problem, so let's go for it. First job you do with ratios is to note down what you already know. I'm going to do this in a different color pen. So what do I already know? Well, I know I've got 10 grams of flour. I know that I need 20 grams of sugar. I know I need 30 grams of chocolate. Notice I put these 2 dots each time to separate the numbers out. And I can also put a label on this. So we'll have F for flour, we'll have S for sugar, and we'll have C for chocolate. And I also know that it serves 3 people, so I'm going to put a P for people here, and I'm going to put a, actually, you know what, you're going to see why I do this, but I'm going to put the people over here. It'll come clear later why. So I get 3 people, 10 grams of flour, 20 grams of sugar, 30 grams of chocolate. And then I was asked how much flour do I need to have 15 to serve 15 people. So I'll put 15 underneath. And then I'll put my 2 dots. There you go. Let's bring that in. So there we go. I've literally listed down or written down what I already know. There's 2 rules you need to know for ratios. Rule 1. Ratios can be multiplied. 2. Ratios can be divided. Ratios will either be a rule 1 problem or a rule 2 problem. Actually, you know what? I'll finish off something else here. What I normally do is I write something called total. And the total will be the total of my ingredients. So 10 plus 20 plus 30 is 60. I do this just for the sake of completeness. Sometimes in the exam I won't need the total, but I'll do it anyway. Notice my total did not include people. I just did the ingredients list. 10 plus 20 plus 30. Right, let's get back to these rules. As I said, ratios will either be a rule 1 problem or a rule 2 problem. Let's go through it. We know we've got 3, 10, 20, 30 on the first row, and in the second row all we know about is 15, and we've got these missing numbers here. We need to fix this. Let's fix it. From 3 to get to 15, how was that achieved? Was it either multiplied or was it divided? Well, 3 to get to 15 has grown, so it must have been multiplied by something, and in this case 3 times 5 is 15. Take a blue pen. So I would label my diagram like so. 3 times 5 got me 15, and we follow the arrow. If you didn't know 3 5s are 15, then in the exam what you can do to work out what we multiplied by, you do biggest number divided by smallest number. 15 divided by 3 equals 5, so now I know that I multiplied by 5. In a calculator paper, this method can be a lifesaver. Largest number divided by the smallest number gets me the multiple. Sorry, that's a little aside. So let's go back to the main question. 3 times 5 got me 15. And because of these rules, we now know it's a rule 1 problem, which means that every other number here must be times by 5. So let's get on with it. 10 times 5 is 50. 20 times 5 is 100. 30 times 5 is 150. And 60 times 5 is 300. So what's in answer to the question, how much flour do I need for 15 people? I read it like I read off a table. 15 people required 50 grams of flour. So answer equals 50 grams. Notice something else, one other thing with the ratios. These ingredients lists, 50, 100, 150, when you add them together, you get 300. Spooky or what? These three total to this. Woo! And that's all I want to go through.